Hello, welcome back to my channel Simply Maths. Today we are going to start with practice set 2.1 of Pythagoras theorem. Before we start, subscribe to my channel to learn maths in the easiest way. Now let us start with the first question. Identify with reason which of the following are Pythagorean triplets. So we have learned in the last video how to find out Pythagorean triplets. First we have to look for the largest number in the set. Then we have to square it, and we have to check whether the sum of the squares of the other two numbers are equal to the square of the largest number. If it is, then it is a Pythagorean triplet. So let us see the first sum. 3, 5 and 4. Here the largest number is 5. So we'll write the squares of all the numbers, that is 3 square is equal to 9. Here 3 square is equal to 9. Then the second largest number is 4. So we'll write 4 square is equal to 16. And then 5 square is 25. So we have to check whether if 3 square plus 4 square is equal to 5 square. If it is equal, then only this 3, 5 and 4 is a Pythagorean triplet. So let us check. 9 plus 16 gives us 25, right? 9 plus 16 is 25. Therefore 3 square plus 4 square is equal to 5 square. Here the square of largest number is equal to the sum of squares of remaining two numbers. Therefore, what is the set? 3, 5 and 4. Therefore, 3, 5, 4 is a Pythagorean triplet. Okay, in every sum we have to follow the same procedure. Now here I am going to solve only first, second, fifth and sixth sum. Third and fourth sum you all have to solve. Okay, so I'll start with the second sum. Second, it is 4, 9 and 12. So 4 square is equal to 16. 9 square is equal to 9 9s are 81, and 12 square is equal to 144. Okay, so here we have to check whether 4 square plus 9 square is equal to 12 square. So 16, here 16 plus 81 is equal to 97. Okay, 16 plus 81 gives us 97, which is not equal to 144. Therefore, first we'll write the reason. Since the square of largest number is not equal to the sum of squares of other two numbers. Therefore 4, 9 and 12 is not a Pythagorean triplet. Okay, since the sum of the squares of these two numbers is not equal to the square of the largest number, therefore this set is not a Pythagorean triplet. So in every sum you have to follow the same procedure. If the square is equal, then only it is a Pythagorean triplet, or else it is not a Pythagorean triplet. Now let us start with the fifth sum. In the fifth sum we have 10, 24 and 27. So we have to check whether 10 square plus 24 square is equal to 27 square. So let us check. 10 square is equal to 100. 24 square is equal to 576, and 27 square is equal to 729. So let us check whether 100 plus 576 gives us 729. Here 100 plus 576 is equal to 676, which is not equal to 729, since the square of largest number is not equal to the sum of the squares of other two numbers. Sum of squares of remaining two numbers therefore 10, 24 and 27 is not a Pythagorean triplet. Is not a Pythagorean triplet. Okay, now sixth sum is 11, 60 and 61. So let us check whether 11 square plus 60 square is equal to 61 square. 11 square is equal to 121. 60 square is equal to 6 6 are 36, 3600, and 61 square is equal to 3721. Okay, 11 square, 60 square and 61 square. Now let us check whether 121 plus 3600 is equal to 3721. Here 121 plus 3600 is equal to 0, 1, 2, 6 plus 1 is 7 and this 3. It gives us 3721, which is equal to 61 square. Here 11 square plus 60 square is equal to 61 square. Okay, since the square of largest number is equal to the sum of squares of remaining two numbers, therefore 11, 60 and 61 is a Pythagorean triplet. Okay, Pythagorean triplet. Now let us start with the second question. Now in this second question of practice set 2.1, it is given that in figure angle M and P is 90 degree. Okay, segment NQ is perpendicular to segment MP. MQ is 9, QP is 4, and we have to find NQ. Okay, the perpendicular segment which is perpendicular on MP. Here we can use theorem of geometric mean, where it gives NQ square is equal to MQ into QP. So we have it is given that MQ and QP are given, so we can find out NQ. Okay, so let us start. First we'll write given. What is given? In triangle M and P, angle M and P is 90 degree. Segment NQ is perpendicular to segment NP. Segment NQ is perpendicular to segment MP. Also MQ is 9 and QP is equal to 4. What we have to find? Find NQ. So to find NQ is equal to question mark. We'll write the solution. In triangle M and P, what we can write? NQ square is equal to MQ into QP, because it is given that NQ is perpendicular to MP. So we can use theorem of geometric mean, where NQ square is equal to MQ into QP. In triangle MNP, NQ square is equal to MQ into QP using theorem of geometric mean. Okay, so therefore NQ square, NQ we have to find out. So NQ square is equal to, what is MQ? MQ is 9 into QP is 4. Therefore NQ square is equal to 9 4s are 36. Therefore NQ is equal to 6, taking square root. So we'll write therefore NQ is equal to 6 units. Okay, now let us start with the third question. Now in the third question of practice set 2.1, it is given that in the figure angle QPR is 90. Angle QPR is 90. Segment PM is perpendicular to segment QR, and QM and R are collinear. Okay, PM is 10 and QM is 8. Find QR. We have to find the entire distance QR. Here also we can use theorem of geometric mean, which will give PM square is equal to QM into MR. Then we have PM and QM given, so we can find out MR, and then we can add this distance QM and MR to find out QR. So let us start. Given in triangle QPR, angle QPR is 90 and PM is perpendicular to QR. Segment PM is perpendicular to segment QR. Also here we'll write QM and R are collinear. Okay, QM and R are collinear. Also PM is 10 and QM is 8. PM is equal to 10 and QM is equal to 8. So we have to find out QR. To find QR. Okay, solution. In triangle QPR, PM square is equal to QM into MR using theorem of geometric mean. PM square is equal to QM into MR. In triangle QPR, PM square is equal to QM into MR. Theorem of geometric mean. Okay, we have PM is 10, therefore 10 square is equal to, QM is also given 8 into MR. We don't know what is MR. We'll find out MR and then we'll add this QN and MR to find out QR. Okay, so 10 square is 100 is equal to 8 into MR. Therefore 100 upon 8 is equal to MR. Therefore MR is equal to 100 upon 8. We can divide this both by 4. 4 2s are 8 and 4 5s are 20. That is equal to 25 by 2, which is equal to 12.5. Okay, so we got MR is equal to 12.5. Therefore we'll write QR is equal to QM plus MR. Why? Because QM and R are collinear. Therefore QR is equal to QM plus MR. QR is equal to QM plus MR. So we have QM given and we have found out MR. So we'll write therefore QR is equal to QM is 8, QM 8 plus MR is 12.5. So 8 plus 12.5 is 20.5. Therefore QR is equal to 20.5. 20.5. Okay, now let us start with the fourth question. Now in this fourth question of practice set 2.1, it is given that find RP and PS using the information given in triangle PSR. Now in this triangle PSR, we can say it is given that angle PSR is 90 degree and angle RPS is 30 degree. Hence angle PRS will be 60 degree, 30, 60. Since these angles are 90 and 30, this angle will be 60 degree. So we'll write in triangle PSR, angle S is equal to 90 degree and angle P is equal to 30 degree. Okay, therefore angle R will be 60. Since 90 plus 30 is 120, so 180 minus 120 will give us 60 degree. So 90 and angle S is 90 and angle P is 30. Therefore angle R is equal to 60 degree. Now we can see this is 60 degree. Okay, so this is a 30, 60, 90 degree triangle. So we can use here the property of 30, 60, 90, where side RS will be half of the hypotenuse because it is opposite to 30 degree. Side opposite to 30 degree is RS. Therefore RS will be half of RP, PR, that is the hypotenuse, and side opposite to 60 degree is PS. So it will be root 3 by 2 of the hypotenuse, that is root 3 by 2 of PR. Hence we can find PR and PS. Okay, we'll write here therefore by property of 30, 60 degree, 90 degree triangle, side opposite to 30 is RS. RS is equal to half of the hypotenuse, that is PR, half of PR, and side opposite to 60 is PS. PS is equal to root 3 by 2 of the hypotenuse, that is PR. Okay, now here we have RS is given, that is 6. So we can find out PR and then we can substitute it in this term and we can find out PS. Okay, so therefore what is RS? RS is 6. Therefore 6 is equal to half of PR. Okay, therefore 6 into 2 is equal to PR. We took this 2, the 2 in the denominator, we took it to the left hand side, so it got multiplied to 6. Therefore 6 into 2 is PR. Therefore PR is equal to 6 2s are 12. Okay, we got PR as 12, so we'll substitute it here and we can find out we will substitute it here and we can find out PS. Therefore PS is equal to root 3 by 2 into what is PR? 12. Okay, so 2 1s are 2 6s are. Therefore PS is equal to 6 root 3. Okay, now we'll start with the fifth question. Now in this fifth question of practice set 2.1, it is given that for finding AB and BC with the help of given information in the figure, complete the following activity. We have to fill in the blanks. Okay, so let us start. AB is equal to BC. Here in this diagram we can see AB is equal to BC is given. So in this blank we'll write given. Okay, AB is equal to BC is already given. Okay, given. Since AB is equal to BC, this triangle is a right angled isosceles triangle. Okay, we'll consider it as an isosceles triangle. So in an isosceles triangle, if the two sides are equal, then the angles opposite to them are also equal. So if these two sides are equal, then these two angles will also be equal. Okay, angle A and angle C will also be equal. Now this angle is 90 degree. So this angle, if they are to be equal, then they will be of 45 degree each. Okay, because there can't be any measure 30 or 60 is not equal, so it will be 45 and 45. Then only these two angles will be equal. Since these two sides are equal, therefore these two angles are also equal. So we'll write, they have asked for angle BAC, therefore angle BAC is equal to 45. This will be a 45 90 degree triangle. Okay, so angle BAC is equal to 45 degree. Now AB is equal to BC. Here AB and BC are equal, but they are the sides opposite to angle 45. Okay, this angle is 45 as we have written. This angle is also 45 degree. So AB and BC are the sides opposite to 45 degree. So AB and BC will be equal to 1 upon root 2 of the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is AC. So here AC is given. Therefore we'll write here 1 upon root 2, because AB and BC are the sides opposite to 45 degree. So it will be 1 upon root 2 of the hypotenuse. 1 upon root 2 of the hypotenuse, that is AC. Here also we will write 1 upon root 2, because they have substituted the value of AC, that is root 8. So 1 upon root 2 into root 8. Now they have splitted root 8 into 2 root 2. So we will write 1 upon root 2. Okay, 1 upon root 2 into 2 root 2. So this root 2 and root 2 will get cancelled and will get 2. See how it is, 1 upon root 2 into root 8. This was 1 upon root 2 into root 8, which gave us 1 upon root 2 into 2 root 2. Okay, 1 upon root 2 into 2 root 2. So this root 2 and root 2 got cancelled and we got 2 into 1, which is equal to 2. Now let us start with the sixth question. Now in the sixth question of practice set 2.1, we are asked to find the side and the perimeter of a square whose diagonal is 10 cm. Now here I have considered a square ABCD with diagonal 10 cm, that is diagonal is AC, and we are given the value of diagonal, that is 10 cm. So I have considered a square ABCD with diagonal AC of 10 cm. Okay, we have to find out the side of the square and the perimeter of the square. Okay, now I will write, let us consider a square ABCD with diagonal AC. Okay, diagonal is AC. You can consider BD also, it is of your choice. I have considered AC because it will be easy to consider a right angle triangle ABC. Okay, so let us consider a square ABCD with diagonal AC. Here angle A is equal to angle B is equal to angle C is equal to angle D is equal to 90 degree. Each angle of square is 90 degree. Okay, so angle A, B, C and D are equal to 90 degree, and this is a square, so its sides will be equal, that is AB will be equal to BC will be equal to CD will be equal to AD. Okay, and AB is equal to BC is equal to CD is equal to AD. Why? Sides of a square. And we'll consider this as equation number 1. Okay, AB is equal to BC is equal to CD is equal to AD. Okay, now we have written this. Now we'll start with the sum. Now we'll consider a right angle triangle ABC. Okay, this is a right angle triangle because angle B is 90 degree. So we'll consider right angle triangle ABC and we'll apply Pythagoras theorem. Okay, let us start. In triangle ABC, angle B is in 90 degree. Angle B is 90 degree. Okay, therefore we can apply Pythagoras theorem saying AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. Therefore AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. Why? Pythagoras theorem. Okay, we have applied Pythagoras theorem. Now AC is given, that is 10 centimeter, the diagonal of the square, that is the hypotenuse of the triangle, that is 10 centimeter. So we will write 10 square is equal to, now here AB and BC are equal because those are the sides of a square. So we can write AB as BC or BC as AB. We will write here BC is equal to AB. So we will write AB square plus AB square. Therefore 10 square is equal to AB square plus AB square. Why? Because BC is equal to AB. Okay, it is a side of a square. From 1. We got this from equation number 1. Okay, so 10 square is equal to AB square plus AB square. Therefore 10 square is equal to 2AB square. AB square plus AB square is 2AB square. Therefore that is 100. 10 square is 100 is equal to 2AB square. Okay, therefore 100 and this 2 will take in the denominator of 100. So 100 upon 2 is equal to AB square. Therefore AB square is equal to 100 upon 2, that is equal to 50. Okay, AB square is equal to 50. So we'll take square root, that is AB is equal to root 50. Taking square root we got AB as equal to 50. Now this 50 we can split it as 25 into 2 and we can take 25 out of root. Okay, so we'll write it as root of 25 into 2, which is equal to root 25 is 5. Square root of 25 is 5. So we'll get this value as 5 root 2. Okay, and AB is a square, AB is a side of a square, so we'll write it as 5 root 2 centimeter. So we got one side of the square AB, that is 5 root 2 centimeter, but all the sides of a square are equal, that is AB is equal to BC is equal to CD is equal to AD. So we'll write that therefore AB is equal to BC is equal to CD is equal to AD is equal to 5 root 2 centimeter. Therefore first we have found out the side, so we'll write the final statement that the side of the square is, the side of square of the square is 5 root 2 centimeter. Okay, now we have to find out the perimeter of the square. Perimeter is sum of all sides. So therefore perimeter of square is equal to, we can also write it as 4 into side. Perimeter of a square is 4 into side or sum of all sides. I will write it as 4 into side. Okay, so 4 into side is 5 root 2. Any side of the square is 5 root 2 centimeter. So we will write it as 4 into 5 root 2. So 4 into 5 is 20. 4 5s are 20. So it will give us 20 root 2 centimeter. Okay, therefore the perimeter of the square, is 20 root 2 centimeter. Okay, now let us start with the seventh sum. Now in the seventh sum of practice set 2.1, it is given that in this figure angle DFE is 90 degree, FG is perpendicular to ED. Okay, FG is perpendicular to ED, GD is 8, FG is 12. We have to find out EG, FD and EF. Okay, we'll go step by step. First we'll find out EG. Now here to find out EG, we can see FG and GD are given. FG and GD are given. So we can use theorem of geometric mean to find out EG, that is FG square is equal to GD into EG. Okay, first we can find out EG by theorem of geometric mean. So let us write, in triangle I'll write here first question because we are solving sub questions. Okay, in triangle DFE, in triangle DFE, FG is perpendicular to ED. It is given FG is perpendicular to ED. FG is perpendicular to ED given. Okay, therefore we can write as FG square is equal to GD into EG. FG square is equal to GD into EG. GD into EG. Okay, therefore what is FG? FG is given as 12. Therefore 12 square is equal to GD is also given 8 into EG we have to find out. Okay, into EG. Therefore 12 square is 144 is equal to 8 into EG. We'll take this 8 in the denominator of 144. Therefore 144 upon 8 is equal to EG. Therefore EG is equal to 144 upon 8. We can divide these both numbers by 4. That is 4 2s are 8, 4 3s are 12, 2 24, 4 6s are 24, 2 1s are 2, 2 18s are 36. Okay, 2 18s are 36. That is equal to 18 upon 1, which is equal to 18. Therefore EG is equal to 18. We have found out EG. Now we have to find out FD, which is this side. We can see that FD, okay, FD is the hypotenuse of triangle DGF. FD is the hypotenuse of triangle DGF. Okay, so we can write DF square is equal to GD square plus GF square using Pythagoras theorem, and we have GD and GF, so we can find out DF. Okay, so here I'll write second, in triangle DGF. Okay, in triangle DGF, angle G is 90 degree because FG is perpendicular to ED, so angle G is 90 degree. Angle G is equal to 90 degree. This is given. Therefore we can write DF square is equal to DF or FD. We have to find out FD, so I'll write FD. Okay, FD square is equal to GD square plus FG square. Okay, DF square is equal to GD square plus FG square. Why? Using Pythagoras theorem. Okay, using Pythagoras theorem. Therefore DF square, what is DF? We have to find out DF, that is FD. I'll write here FD. Okay, because we have to find out DF and FD is same only. So FD square, we have to find out FD. Therefore FD square is equal to GD. GD is already given, that is 8. GD square, that is 8 square plus FG. FG is also given as 12. 8 square plus 12 square. Therefore FD square is 8 square plus 12 square. Therefore FD square is equal to 8 8s are 64 plus 12 square is 144. Okay, FD square is 64 plus 144. 64 plus 144 is equal to 208. Therefore FD square is 208. Therefore FD is equal to root of 208, taking square root. Okay, FD is 208. Now we'll find factors of 208 so that we can take out something common. I'll divide it by 4. 4 5s are 20, 4 2s are 8. Okay, this also I can divide by 4. 4 13s are 52. There is no factor of 13, so I'll write it as 13. So we can take this 4 out of the root because it is twice. Okay, here therefore FD is equal to root of 4 into 4 into 13. Since this 4 is multiplied twice, I can take it out as 4 root 13. Okay, therefore FD is equal to 4 root 13. We have found out FD. Now we have to find out EF. Okay, I'll solve it on next page. Now here for EF, we can see we can use this right angle triangle, that is EFG or EGF. We have found out GE. What is the measure of GE? That is 18. GE is 18. So we have GF, we have GE. So we can find out EF by using Pythagoras theorem. Okay. So I'll write, in triangle EGF, angle G is equal to 90 degree. It is given. Therefore, we can write EF square is equal to EG square plus FG square. Therefore, EF we have to find out. EF square is equal to, what is EG? EG is 18. So 18 square plus FG is 12. 12 square. Therefore, EF square is equal to 18 square is 324 plus 12 square is 144. Okay. Therefore, EF square is equal to 4 plus 4 is 8, 4 plus 2 is 6, 3 plus 1 is 4, 468. Therefore, EF square is equal to root of 468. Now we'll have to factorize this 468. I can divide it by 4. 4 ones are 4. Again 4 ones are 4. 28. 4 sevens are 28. Okay, then I can divide it by 3. 3 threes are 9. 2 remains. 3 nines are 27. Again 3. 3 ones are 3. 3 threes are 9. 13. Okay, so therefore EF square is equal to root of 4 into 3 into 3 into 13. Now I can take this 4 out as as 2, because square root of 4 is 2, and 3 into 3, that is 9, means I can take 1 3 out. Therefore not EF square, it is EF. Therefore EF is equal to 2, that is root 4. Root 4 value is 2. Then 3 root of 3 into 3, that is 3. Okay, and inside the root only 13 remains. Okay, so 2 into 3 root 13. Therefore EF is equal to 3 2s are 6 root 13. So we have found out EG, FD and EF. Okay, now let us start with 8th sum. Now in this 8th sum, we are asked to find the diagonal of a rectangle whose length is 35 cm and breadth is 12 cm. So I have considered a rectangle PQRS, where PR is the diagonal of this rectangle and breadth is PQ, that is 12 cm, and QR is its length with 35 cm as its measure. And we have to find out PR. So we can consider this triangle PQR as right angle triangle, because angles of a rectangle are 90 degree each. So we can consider this right angle triangle PQR and use Pythagoras theorem to find out diagonal PQR, that is the hypotenuse of triangle PQR. Okay, so let us write, let us consider a rectangle PQRS with diagonal PR. Okay, here angle P is equal to angle Q is equal to angle R is equal to angle S is equal to 90 degree, because those are the angles of a rectangle and its measure is 90 degree each. So we will consider now triangle right angle triangle PQR. First we will write, also PQ is equal to 12 cm, that is the breadth of the rectangle, and QR is equal to 35 cm, which is the length of the rectangle. Okay, now in triangle PQR, okay, we have considered right angle triangle PQR. Angle Q is equal to 90 degree. We'll consider this as 1. Okay, because those are the angles of a rectangle and they are equal to 90 degree. So angle Q is 90 degree from 1. Okay, so therefore we can write PR square is equal to PQ square plus QR square by Pythagoras theorem. Okay, by using Pythagoras theorem we got PR square is equal to PQ square plus QR square. Therefore PR square is equal to, what is PQ? PQ is 12 centimeter. It is 12 square plus QR is 35 square. Therefore PR square is equal to 144 plus 1225. Therefore PR square is equal to 5 plus 4 is 9, 2 plus 4 is 6, 2 plus 1 is 3, 1369, and 1369 is square root of 37. Therefore PR is equal to 37 taking square root. But since this is a rectangle and they have given the units, therefore PR is equal to 37 centimeter. So we'll write the final statement that the diagonal, that is PR is the diagonal, therefore the diagonal of the rectangle, therefore the diagonal of the rectangle is 37 centimeter. Okay, now let us start with the ninth sum. Now in this ninth sum of practice set 2.1, it is given that in this figure M is the midpoint of QR. Okay, therefore RM and MQ are equal. Since M is the midpoint of QR, so RM and MQ are equal. Also angle PRQ is 90 degree. Okay, and we have to prove that PQ square is 4PM square minus 3PR square. Okay, now we'll have to prove this step by step. So let us start. First I'll write given. What is given? Given in triangle PRQ, angle PRQ is equal to 90 degree. Okay, also M is the midpoint of QR, but I'll write RM is equal to MQ. Okay, I'll write RM is equal to MQ. Therefore it will give us, I'll write it as, but I'll write this only. I'll write the other things later. Now I'll write okay, we have written the given terms. Now to prove, what we have to prove, PQ square is equal to 4PM square minus 3PR square. Okay, now solution. First we'll consider triangle PRM, right angle triangle PRM, use Pythagoras theorem and write the terms. Then we'll consider triangle PRQ. Okay, the first term is to consider in triangle PRM. Angle R is equal to 90 degree. They have already given angle R, that is angle PRQ. Angle PRQ is 90, hence angle PRM is also 90. So we have written in triangle PRM angle R is 90, that is given. Okay, therefore we'll use Pythagoras theorem. We'll get as PM square is equal to PR square plus RM square. Why? Pythagoras theorem. But now the terms which we need in the proof are PM square is needed, PR square is needed, but RM is not needed in this proof. Okay, in this term we don't need RM. So what we'll do, we'll take the needed terms to one side and we'll keep the non-needed terms to the other side. So we'll write PM square minus PR square is equal to RM square. Okay, RM is not needed, so we kept it on the right hand side and we took the terms which were needed on the left hand side. Okay, so I'll write it as, therefore RM square is equal to PM square minus PR square. We will consider this as equation number 1. Okay, we first took triangle PRM, used Pythagoras theorem and found out this term. Now we will consider the bigger triangle, that is triangle PRQ, and use Pythagoras theorem and find out which, let us see which terms we get. Okay, in triangle PRQ, angle R is equal to 90 degree, which is already given. Angle R is 90 degree. This is given. Therefore, we will use Pythagoras theorem, that is PQ square is equal to PR square plus RQ square. Therefore, PQ square is equal to PR square plus RQ square by Pythagoras theorem. Okay, now this PQ is needed in the proof. Also PR is needed, but RQ is not needed in the proof. So what we will do, we will take this PR square to the other side and keep RQ square on one side. Therefore PQ square minus PR square is equal to RQ square. We took this PR to the left hand side. Therefore we can write it as RQ square is equal to PQ square minus PR square. We will consider this as equation number 2. Okay, now we can see that this RQ, this is divided in two parts, that is RM and MQ. RQ is divided in two parts, RM and RQ. So what we will do, we won't write these two terms because we need PQ square alone on the left hand side. So we will keep this term as it is and we won't write this. Okay, so using Pythagoras theorem we got this and we will consider it as equation number 2. Okay, now we can see that RM plus MQ gives us RQ. Okay, but RM and MQ are equal, so we will get as 2RM is equal to RQ. We will write since M is the midpoint, RM and MQ are equal. Okay, it is given that RM and MQ are equal, that since M is the midpoint of RQ, therefore RM and MQ are equal. Therefore RM is equal to MQ. Okay, therefore we can write RQ is equal to RM plus RQ. RQ is equal to RM plus MQ. Okay, RM is RM plus MQ, RQ is RM plus MQ, but RM and MQ are equal because M is the midpoint. It is given that RM and MQ are equal. Therefore we can write RQ as RQ is equals to RM plus RM. MQ also we wrote as RM. Therefore RQ is equal to 2RM. Okay, since RM and MQ were equal, we got RQ as 2RM. RM and MQ were equal, therefore we got RQ as twice of RM, because RQ is 2 times of RM, because RM and MQ are equal. So this RQ is equal to 2RM. We can substitute this RQ is equal to 2RM in this term, that is the second equation. Okay, so we will put RQ is equal to 2RM in this equation, and this RM we will substitute these terms in this RM. Okay, let us write. Therefore we will consider this as equation number 3. Therefore from 2 and 3 what we will get? PQ square. Therefore PQ square is equal to PR square. Okay, PR square plus RQ square. Now RQ is 2RM and we are considering this second equation and this third equation. So we will write this RQ as 2RM square. 2RM the whole square. Okay, PQ square is PR square plus 2RM the whole square. Therefore PQ square is equal to PR square plus 2 square is 4 and Rm square. Okay, now here from this first equation we can see we can substitute Rm as Pm square minus Pr square. Here we can substitute this Rm. Okay, therefore PQ square is equal to PR square plus 4 into, now Rm is this whole term, so we will write Pm square minus PR square. Pm square minus PR square. Okay, PR square. We got this from 1. Okay, so PQ square is PR square plus 4 into Pm square minus PR square. Therefore PQ square is equal to PR square plus 4 we will multiply in this bracket, so 4 Pm square minus 4 PR square. So we can subtract this plus PR square and minus 4 PR square. Therefore PQ square is equal to 4 Pm, will write it as it is, 4 Pm square, and minus 4 plus 1 is minus 3, so minus 3 PR square. 4 Pm square we wrote as it is, and plus 1 PR square minus 4 PR square gives us minus 3 PR square, and this is the term which was needed in the proof, that is PQ square is 4 Pm square minus 3 PR square. PQ square is 4 Pm square minus 3 PR square is proved. Okay, now let us see the 10th sum, that is the last sum. Now in this 10th sum of practice set 2.1 we will have to understand this question properly so that we can draw the diagram neatly, so it will be easy to solve this question. Okay, so first we will understand this, we will read this question step by step and we'll draw the diagram. Okay, walls of two buildings on the other side of a street. Okay, there is a street. I'll draw the diagram in rough. There is this street. Okay, and walls of two buildings are on the either side of the street, means there is a one building over here and the another building is over here. Okay, so we have two buildings on the opposite sides of the street. Okay, and those buildings are parallel. Now since these buildings are on the ground, they will be perpendicular to the ground. Okay, these buildings are parallel to each other. This is the street, so these buildings will be perpendicular to the ground. Okay, a ladder 5.8 meter long is placed on the street. Okay, there is a ladder over here which is placed on the street such that its top reaches the window of a building at the height of 4 meter. Okay, there is a ladder placed on the street and it touches the building. This the length of this ladder is 5.8 meters. Okay, a ladder 5.8 meter long is placed on the street. Okay, and is placed on this street such that its top just reaches the window of the building at a height of 4 meter. The window of the building, here is a window, this is a ladder. Okay, so this ladder reaches the building, the window of the building which is at the height of 4 meters. So we got the length of the ladder and we got the height of the window. Okay, now on turning the ladder over to the other side, if this ladder is placed on the other side, that is if it is kept on the other building, other side of the street, its top touches the window. Its top touches the window of the other building at a height of 4.2. Now if this ladder is placed on the other side of the street, its top reaches the height the building at the height of 4.2 meters. Okay, this is the same ladder which was kept over here, so this ladder's length is 5.8 meters and it reaches this building at a height of 4.2 meters. So now we have to find the width of the street. We have to find the width of the street, that is this length. Okay, so now we can see that this is a right angle triangle and this is also a right angle triangle. So we can solve two right angle triangles. We can use Pythagoras theorem and we can find out these sides, and we can add those lengths, and we can find the entire length. So we will consider as A, B, C, D, E. Okay, I'll draw a neat diagram and I'll show. So we have got this diagram. Okay, and we have to find the width of the straight, that is we have to find out the length of BD. Okay, let us start this sum. First we'll write, let AB and ED be the heights of the window. Okay, this is the window of first building and this is the window of another building. So let AB and ED be the heights of the window of the building. Let BD be the width of the street. Okay, now we can consider right angle triangle ABC and use Pythagoras theorem. First we will write why this angle is 90 degree. Since the buildings are perpendicular to the ground, therefore angle B is equal to angle D is equal to 90 degree. Okay, angle B and angle D are 90 degree. Now we can consider this right angle triangle ABC. Therefore in right angled triangle ABC we can use Pythagoras theorem. AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. Pythagoras theorem. Okay, therefore what is AC? AC is 5.8 square is equal to 4 square plus BC square. Therefore square of 5.8 is 33.64 is equal to 4 4 16 plus BC square. Okay, 33.64 is equal to 16 plus BC square. Therefore 33.64 minus 16 is equal to BC square. Okay, therefore BC square is equal to 33.64 minus 16 gives us 6, 4 and 17. Okay, BC square is equal to 17.64. Therefore BC is equal to root of 17.64. Therefore BC square root of 17.64 is 4.2. Okay, so BC we got it as 4.2. Now we have to consider right angle triangle CDE. Use Pythagoras theorem and find out the length of CD. So in right angle triangle CDE, CE square is equal to CD square plus DE square. CE square is equal to CD square plus DE square. Why? Pythagoras theorem. Okay, therefore what is CE? CE is 5.8 and DE is 4.2. CE is 5.8 square is equal to CD we have to find out, and DE is 4.2 square. Okay, 5.8 square is equal to CD square plus 4.2 square. So 5.8 square is 33.64. Okay, 33.64 is equal to CD square plus square of 4.2 is 17.64. Therefore 33.64 minus 17.64 is equal to CD square. Therefore CD square is equal to 0, 0 and 33 minus 70 is 60. Therefore CD is equal to 4. Square root of 16 is 4. So taking square root, we got CD as 4. Now we have to find out the width of the street, that is BD. Okay, width of the street is BD. Therefore BD is equal to BC plus CD. Now BD is equal to BC plus CD. Therefore BD is equal to, what was BC? BC we got it as 4.2. 4.2 plus CD is 4. Therefore BC is equal to 8.2. Okay, we got BC as 8.2. Therefore we'll write the final statement that the width of the street in meters, right? We have got the unit as meter. Therefore the width of the street is 8.2 meters. Okay, thank you for watching my video. Please do subscribe so that you get notification about the about practice set 2.2. Thank you. お前はもう死んでいる。